In this video, we are going to discuss how to win in French exchange variation. This question is so hard that currently no player has able to solve this question. Every chess player who is having an experience says that it's an equal position. First of all, to all those who have never saw the position of French exchange variation, I must show them the line is to play e4 e6, d4 d5 and takes, and we have the French exchange variation. And French opening is one of the most popular opening in the chess world because it's actually because French opening is actually very cool, yeah. And the basic point is after like e5, black can play c5 and black is already putting pressure on d4. So from the start, black have able to achieve an idea that he's going to target the d4 pawn. So it's very interesting opening from the black side, and I usually play it like the 99% of the time. So that is the point. And yeah, so finally in this video, I'm going to cover how to win in French exchange variation. So this video is going to be very interesting and very important for every chess player. And you can say this idea can be used from both the sides, even with the white and the black as well. Because basically the chess is all about ideas. We just need to find an idea to win the game. So let's check it out and make sure to share this video with everyone because this video is going to be very epic. So let's start. So the game is between Melikset versus Wesley. So I'm not sure that I'm pronouncing white's name right, but I'm definitely pronouncing the black player name right, Wesley. So both the players are extremely strong players. Both the players are grandmaster. So let's check it out. So white starts out the game with 1 e4. We have e6, d4, d5. We have the French exchange variation. Knight f3, knight f6. All the French players who likes to play the French or who usually play French already know what happens in the French exchange variation. It's a very common variation. Very common moves are played. Basically, the minor pieces are simply developed and black tries to castle as soon as possible. Yep. So in bishop d3, bishop d6, castle, bishop to g5, pinning up the knight, black plays bishop g4, pinning up the white knight. You see, after an exchange in the center, both the players are simply developing the pieces. This is what happens in the French exchange 99% of the time. Knight d2, knight d7. The reason many players were thinking white played knight d2, who doesn't know how to play the French must be thinking why not to play knight c3. The idea is very simple. After playing knight c3, I can play c6 and my pawn structure is actually much better than white pawn structure because white pawn structure is actually very, very bad. If white wants to improve the structure, he has to move the knight and he has to play c3. So that is the point of not playing knight c3 but playing knight to d2, keeping the option of playing c3. Knight d7, rook e1, getting the open fight, c6, c3, queen c7, queen c2, and finally we have rook to e8. So both the players have finally developed all their minor pieces, everything, every piece, and even both the sides have able to castle. So now starts the real game, because there are many variations in this. Many moves are played because many common moves are present in the position. There is h3. We can even go for trading the rook. We can play a4. We can play b4. We can play even bishop f5. There are many moves, and no move is actually incorrect. Every move is actually completely fine from both the sides. That is why this opening is known as the most drawish opening. Bishop h4 by white, a very common idea. White wants to play bishop g3 and take away the bishop on d6. g6 by Wesley, making a square for the king, and now the light squares are pretty controlled, pretty protected, so the bishop is already bad on d3. So now bishop g3, bishop takes, h takes, rook takes, rook e8, rook into e8, knight into e8. You see how both the sides exchange their rooks, and now all we left is two knights, one bishop against two knight, one bishop, queen, equal pawns, completely equal position. Knight to f1, knight to d6, knight to e3, and here comes the moment. The basic idea in the French to win every French position, at least you will receive a better position. You see, till now the position is extremely equal. Extremely. This position is extremely common, and this position can land in every game in the French position, mostly. And what you need to do basically is, you need to simply capture the knight with the bishop, which happened in the game. And after that, you definitely know this rule. The knights are the best in the close position, and the bishops are the best in the open position. And in the French exchange, the position is extremely closed in every situation. That is the basic point. So what I'm saying is, now we have two knights against one knight and the bishop. So what we need to do is, we need to simply trade one pair of the knight, and then after that, the knight and the queen coordinates much better than the bishop and the queen. And after we trade of the queen and one pair of knight, we receive is knight and the bishop, and it's a close position. You are at least better. You're never losing, but you are at least better in the position, which actually happened in the game. We have king g7, king g2, knight f6, knight g4. White came forward with the knight for exchanging the minor pieces, and many of you are thinking that perhaps black is at least better. According to the engine, it says that it's a completely equal position, but from the practical view, from the human point of view, this position is actually better for black. You see, what happened in the game is queen e7, queen e2, and we have a queen trade. And now if you put this position in the engine, it says like it's a completely equal position. Perhaps minus 0.45 to the black, a slight advantage, but nothing is happening. But the basic point is, you're having the knight against the bishop. It's a close position. 99% of the players don't know that we need to reach this position. They simply play the French. They don't have any idea. They think that, okay, it's an equal position, trade the pieces, and it's a draw. But what we need to do is, we simply need to consider this position. We want a knight, and we want our opponent with the bishop. So for that, what we need to do is, we need to reach this position where you have two knights against the one knight and the bishop to reach this final position after this. And after this, the game was continued by playing g5, which was not a good move by Wesley. So he should have played king to f6 in the position, because the white squares are already very solid, and it gives an option for black to enter in the white area, perhaps even by playing knight e4, and king f6 is actually a much better move. But g5 was played, which was simply a committable move, and now, yeah, the position is extremely solid. It's unequal, but still, knight is much better than the bishop. Bishop, h6, f3, king f6, king f2, king e6. A couple of moves were played in the game. Although it was an equal position, yeah, this game was played in the high level. So obviously, white know how to, white know how to defend the position. But in the lower level, in around like 2100 to 2200, many players don't know what to play in the position, because it is so tricky to play against the knight. I must tell you, you must play this opening, or you must reach this position in online chess, and I can bet you that you are going to win the game. You are at least not going to lose the game, because knight is at least better than the bishop. So the one side who is pushing in the game is only you, because you are having the knight. That is simple. So after c to b4, the game continued by playing knight check, king e2. All those who are thinking what happens if takes, pawn takes, and now black is the one who is winning the game. Because after king e4, because stopping this king d5 idea by playing king e4, I can play king to d6, waiting move, pawn push, pawn check. Extremely hard to find, but this is the move. If king takes, then I can play c3, and now I can make the queen. And if pawn takes, then I can play h5. Pawn push, h4. Takes, push, and now I'm first one to make a queen, give a check, and it's winning for black. That is the main point. And if you don't take, like after push, if you take this, I can take this. And now whatever you play, like push, I can play h3. And if you try to stop this pawn, I can play c3, and I am reaching much faster. And it's winning for black. So this is what happens. So that is why capturing the knight is not a good idea. King e2 was played. Knight goes hitting the bishop. b5, knight c4, which was a blunder by Wesley. So he should have simply played knight into d3, king d3, and it's an equal position. After f5, king takes, and it's an equal position. The position is completely blocked. But knight c4, and now can you find the winning move? Bishop c4. Pawn takes, and now we have king d2. So white is the one who is reaching the c3 square, which is the most critical square, because you defend the pawn as well as you hit the pawn. And now the game continued by playing king d6. So Wesley is like, which side would reach this position, he will get the opposition. Although it's still winning for white, but still. King d6, both the sides are waiting. King c2, and now finally king d5, king c3, f6 by Wesley. So, and now can you find the winning move from the white side? It's extremely hard to find, but definitely give it a try. You can say it is kind of only move winning for white. It's extremely tough, just believe it. So feel free to pause the video and try to find the best move for white. Okay, so I think you must have had a great deep thought, and you must have came up with the move. First of all, before revealing the idea, or you can say the answer, I must tell you that white do not want to move the king because the pawn is hanging on d4. If you try to move the pawn, I am going to tell you the answer. All those who think a3 or a4, this is a wrong move. The right move is to play f4. Extremely tough, extremely. The reason is, in the game, a3 was played. I'm going to tell you why this was a losing move. f4 was the winning move. The answer is pretty simple. Like after pawn takes. If king goes for attacking the pawn, I can play push. King d5, because you can't go for here. I can go for capturing the pawn. Not capturing the pawn. It's an equal position. King g4, and it's an equal position. But at the place of capturing the pawn, I can play d5. You can't go for capturing because I can make a queen. And now you can't even come on e5. Yeah, you can go for e5, but I can simply capture the pawn. And now I'm a pawn up and I'm winning the game. That is the basic point. That is the basic idea. And if you don't capture, you have nothing. You can't do anything. Like if you play something like king over here, I can play fg5. And after fg5, for example, I can play king c4 and I'm making queen. That is the basic idea of playing f4, which was a very necessary move. But a3 was played, and now can you find the winning move from the black side? Boom! f5. Black goes in, and it's game over. The reason is very simple. G5 was played in the game, h5, and you can't stop h4. And if you don't capture the pawn, for example, if you play something else like a4, a random move, I can play f4. I'm preparing to capture the pawn. So you have to capture, and I can capture the pawn. And you see, white is having no moves to continue the position. He have to move the king, and I can capture the pawn, and it's winning for black. That is the basic idea. So after f5, pawn was taken by white, and after h5, f6, king e6. On the move number 40, after playing king e6, white with the black piece of white playing by Melikset resigned the game, and Wesley, so with the black pieces, played a phenomenal chess and won the game. So you see, the basic idea was not to show you the end game, but the basic idea was to show you the position where we reach over here. we need a knight against the bishop. This idea is actually not so popular currently. So you can go out and play this idea, very interesting idea. You just need a knight against the bishop, and you are the one who is going to rule the game, and you are going to win the game. So must try and must share this video with everyone, because there are many players who suffer, who think that what to do against the French exchange variation, and they don't try to play the French because they do not have any idea. Or actually there are many players with the white pieces who likes to play the French exchange, but they think that there is no winning. You can go on and play this opening, you can play this idea, and if you like this idea, then make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new to my channel, and make sure to click the notification, because I'm going to come up with these interesting videos like this. So till then, stay tuned and keep watching One Shot Chess.